G'day Fishos, Brent from Tackle World, Port Stephens, and things are drying out, which is good. Plenty of rain, haven't seen rain like that for a long time, but it's a good thing. It'll give the bay an absolute belting of a flush out, which will be really good for our winter season, especially for the bream. So look out, fishing's only going to get better in my mind, especially for the winter fishing, that's for sure. Now, obviously at the moment, a lot of people questions asking what's going on with the fishing. The water in the bay is brown, but it will get better. We just need a good week, maybe 2 weeks to get a good flush, but a lot of your fishing in the bay and the estuary will be the lower half of the bay. Probably forget going Soldiers Point to the west. It's going to be Soldiers Point down even further, the likes of, fishing around Nelson Bay, down to Shoal Bay, over the other side, Jimmy's Beach, all that area. So your fish are going to congregate further down, but as we get those bigger tides, looking at the full moon next week, it will obviously push some better salt water in from offshore, and obviously the estuary will get a good flush. So it won't take long and the fish will be back at it, but it will be the lower half of the estuary if you want to fish inside the bay. But my suggestion is go and have a look at the ocean beaches and also the ocean rocks, and people are starting to do that. Fish the beaches in particular. Fingal Beach has been going off the last couple of days in the afternoons to lead up to that high tide. There's been lots of activity on Fingal. There's been plenty of good tailor, plenty of salmon. Rod sent me some photos, some absolute cracking tailor up to 2 kilos. There's been some really good bream on the beaches as well. So those beaches are going to be the go. Box Beach will be a good one as well, off the headland, on the southern headland. A box will be good for tailor spinning. Although the water's going to be a little bit dirtier, the fish are in it at the moment. So my suggestion, fish the ocean rocks and the beaches. 1 mile will be worth fishing. Samurai will be worth fishing. Not sure about Big Beach at the moment. Not too many reports down off Barubi, but definitely worth a go this weekend. That's where the fish are going to be. Now, it is that time of year, Easter time, where the fish start to migrate, your mullet and your bream. Now, they've had that flush out of nearly probably every estuary system up and down the coast. So they're going to be migrating along the beaches at the moment and the headlands. So really good time to target those big bream off the beach and go from there. Now, there's other predators going to be there, like dewies and things. It's a cracking time. If you want to target a dewey off the beach, now is your time, especially the tides in the next couple of nights will be on. So if you want to do that, I think you're going to be more of a chance to nail a dewey off the beach at the moment. So not as all lost with that flood water. In fact, the fishing will improve over the coming weeks, that's for sure. Now, I've been asked plenty of questions about the offshore scene. What's the water like? Well, to be honest with you, go and have a look. But there are fish out there. Snapper after a big flood feed particularly well. And we've got that lead up to the full moon. So I think if you can find a patch of cleaner water, it is dirty out there and it is a bit cooler as well, but the snapper will feed. Your trag will feed on the reefs as well. So not all is lost on the offshore scene. In fact, we've sent a few people up in the last couple of days fishing around the shallows abroad and catching some nice snapper as well on the soft plastic. So those gulps in particular are going to work really well in that dirtier water with that scent. My suggestion, 5-inch, 7-inch gulps for your reds at the moment. So definitely worth a shot. The longtails will still be there. They don't mind feeding in that dirtier water. They're a coastal tuna, they're an offshore tuna, so they're a coastal tuna. They're used to that dirty water, so they'll feed, they'll find the bait, and away you go. Same with the mac tuna as well. And I've caught plenty of big cobra in dirty water. So get out there. I think the fishing's still going to be good. I think it needs a good week to get cleared up, but it definitely will be worth a shot. Now, on the shelf, the water's actually really nice on the shelf. Spoke to Scotty Thorington from Haven Charters. He actually caught a blue marlin yesterday on the shelf. Said the water looks really good, although there is a bit of current. He said he's got 25 degrees out on the edge of the shelf. So if you're keen on your marlin fishing, there's still plenty of time. The water's still good out there. It's going to be a matter of, I reckon, probably a week, and that fishing will fire up. Unfortunately, the inshore black marlin fishing, it's sort of put on hold at the moment, only because that water is just not good enough for them at the moment. I reckon they would have all pushed out to the edge of the shelf. So in a nutshell, that's the fishing this week. I think we're going to see a lot of good reports over the weekend. Take my advice, fish the beaches, fish the rocks. It's going to be a good weekend for that. And if you can get out offshore, I still think you're going to find some good fish. Maybe just give the bay a miss for another week or so until it really fires up. Anyway, that's it. Keep positive. The fishing's going to be good.